If you could pick one sound that defined American firepower in World War II, it wouldn't be the crack of a rifle or the boom of artillery. It was that steady, chattering BRRRP of a .30 caliber machine gun. And more often than not, that sound came from one source, the M1919 Browning. This wasn't a specialized weapon. This was the workhorse. The tool the U.S. Army, Marines, and Air Corps bolted onto practically everything they had. To understand it, let's talk about a soldier. Imagine Private Frank Wilson, 22 years old, on Guadalcanal. The jungle is dark, thick, and terrifying. His squad's lifeline is the heavy, tripod-mounted M1919 in their position. He'd remember, the Japanese would charge at night, a banzai attack. You couldn't see them in the dark until they were right on top of you. But you'd hear our Browning open up from a neighboring foxhole. That sound. It was the only thing that could stop a human wave cold. The gun itself was brutally simple. The main part weighed about 31 pounds, but with its heavy tripod, you were moving over 60 pounds of steel. It fired at a practical rate of 400 to 500 rounds a minute. Not the fastest, but relentless. It didn't need to be pretty. It just had to work in mud, sand, and heat. And it did. But Frank's story in the Pacific is just one chapter. This same gun was everywhere. Look at this photograph. See that secondary barrel sticking out of a Sherman tank? That's an M1919, the coaxial gun used to mow down enemy infantry. See this Jeep racing across a field? That's an M1919 on a pintle mount, giving a mobile unit serious firepower. Now look up, in the waist gun positions and even the ball turrets of B-17 flying fortresses, airmen fought off German fighters with, you guessed it, modified versions of the M1919. One basic design, adapted for land, vehicles, and air. How many were made? Well over 500,000. But its legend isn't about numbers. It's about trust. Soldiers didn't call it by fancy names. They called it Old Faithful. A jam was so rare it was a talking point, and usually fixed in seconds with a solid hit to the charging handle. In a war where your life depended on your gear, this was the piece you could bet on every single time. The M1919's war didn't end in 1945. It went on to serve in Korea and in conflicts around the world for decades. It was the pure definition of a timeless design. Why change what isn't broken? This is the story of the machine gun that fought a world war from the ground, from vehicles, and from the air. If you appreciate the tools that truly held the line, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into the gear that made the difference.